Right, so this is an Indesit IWDE7145, and it's a washer dryer. Right, oh, that's quite unusual. Just turned it on and come up with just 3 minutes, but with no dry. How unusual. And yeah, it's set to program 1. No, actually, that's supposed to be train. Just slightly on the drain section there. So we have 13 programs, 10 wash, 3 dry, or shall I say 2 dry, and then a all-in-one wash and dry, express wash and dry, for just half a kilo, which is actually just 1 item, or at a push to even 3 very small items. Right. There's a 7 kilo load and 5 kilogram dry, so you can wash and dry 5 kilos in one load, which isn't that bad actually, it's quite good. And it also has kg water balance, which basically is a load sensor, but instead of it being half load, there's actually multiple stages depending on how many kilos are put in. Water balance works obviously from 1 kilo up to 7, so you put 1 or less kilo in, that's the minimum time, and if you put say like 2.5, maybe 3 kilos another time, 4 to 5, that's another time, and then 6 to 7 is another time, and that obviously adjusts the wash length, the amount of rinses, or well, basically how much water is used in the rinses, etc. We also got intensive wash, which has 24 minutes to any cycle. That's a selectable on. And we have easy iron, which isn't compatible with dry for obvious reasons, but does reduce the final spin to 600 RPM. And we have eco time, which is, if you refer to the manual, it's for about half a load. So 3.5 kilo for cottons, 2 kilo for synthetics, and will automatically reduce the amount of water used on the rinses, and obviously reduce the amount of wash time. The load sensor switch is off for this cycle. There is no load sensor, but you do get to keep the same temperature and the same final spin. Right. Another thing, so we have our drying over here. You have A4, A3, A2 and A1. These are your automatic sensor dry programs. So we have A4, which is extra dry, A3 is cupboard dry, which you normally use all the time. Then you've got hanger dry, which leaves slight dampness, and an iron dry, which leaves them damp. Then we have, you can have a timed session of up to 3 hours, all the way down to half an hour. Now it switches off. There's a few good things about it. The one thing I found out about this is if you're in a drying cycle and you want it to actually finish or end, and it hasn't got to the cool down stage at all, if you hit the drying section, you can button what's in the cycle, and you can knock it down to off, but it will still then take an extra 30 minutes for it to then cool down the machine. It won't automatically just switch it off, it has to do its cool down. Right, good things are on this, obviously you get a wool, a silk, and then you get this special jeans program for washing denim jeans, more water, 800 RPM final spin, phase like an easy care, but with easy care spin or synthetic spin with a cotton's kind of wash rhythm. And then we have 3 sport cycles, sport intensive, that's with pre-wash, sport light, that's without, and then sport shoes, which will do a up to 2 pairs or 1 big pair. That rushes at distribution spin speed, a bit like the actual wool cycle, but it doesn't stop at all. It will stop after heating, but that's it. Right. Drying performance wise, it is actually quite good. It's if anything though, it over dries most of the time. 3-stage compartment, and you've got a filter at the bottom. You've also got, what you can't see is this. It's a completely convex piece of plastic, so it looks, so it's actually completely see-through, and doesn't distract the vision at all. Right, it's actually not a bad washer dryer. It's got a standard motor though, so it's got a noisy brushed motor, but it's not that bad actually. It's quite a good machine. Right, we'll move on to the programs and options.